Joining me is Lyle Smith with Cutler Repaving. Nice to meet you,
Nice
Lyle.
to meet you, Jim.
And we're going to learn about this hot in-place repaving process that your company does. And as a treat, we've got Jane Poston, my cohort in crime, on the equipment, and we'll be checking in with her throughout our interview. So that could be interesting. I think scary is another word, and I hope you got lots of liability insurance.
Anything's possible out here, yeah.
Okay, Lyle, hot in place repaving, what is it?
Hot in place recycling, repaving, same thing as heating the existing asphalt up to about 380 degrees. Using that material as a leveling course underneath the machine, adding a rejuvenating agent to it, bringing it back to life. And at the same time, with the same process in one pass, we lay another inch to an inch and a half of new material on top of it and roll it just conventionally, and you have 2.5 inches of recycled and relayed new asphalt for a wearing course, and turn it over to traffic 20 minutes later.
So is this process faster or cheaper? I mean, what are some of the advantages of this over, like, what was the other process that they typically use?
Well, you can still go out and do what they call inlay paving. In other words, mill the whole street off, or come back and do a 2.5 inch, sometimes 3 inch overlay over the existing asphalt. This way we're treating the cracks and any other surface defects that are on the top inch, and we can take care of the cracks and fill those in a little bit and use that as a SAMI, sort of a wedge in between the new lift and the old stuff.
Okay, but the advantage, is it faster? Is it cheaper?
It's about 20% cheaper than a standard overlay, plus you're not using as many materials and raw resources.
So Lyle, recycling is an important part of this process then?
Oh yes, using the material again, it's out there, it's an asset. The public owns it already, why not reuse?
How did this process get invented or started? Is this something Cutler Paving invented years ago, or tell us about that?
Well, we're probably one of the leading heated in-place recyclers in the country. Earl Cutler, the original owner of the company, came up with the idea back in the mid-60s and developed this equipment. He had originally 18 patents on this equipment until the early 80s, and we have 10 spreads for this equipment working throughout the United States right now. He sort of saw a standard heater scarifying process going on, and then they came back with an overlay over the top of that a few days later, and he just wondered why you couldn't do that all in one pass.
Well, I'm thinking we should find out a little bit of what kind of trouble Jane is causing. So let's look back to see what Jane's doing behind us.
This steering wheel controls the front two tires.
Yeah?
When you sit there and watch it, it doesn't take much to get it to head that direction.
Oh, it doesn't. Woo!
Make sure that pipe stays right on the edge of that new asphalt. Now you're getting off a little bit. We're going to have to pay attention.
No, wait, I'm trying to get it back on. Am I?
Yeah. Now you look down through there and you see that maybe the back end's off just a little bit. Well,
yeah.
The back tires steer too.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted that back end to go over just a little bit, this steering wheel over here, you would just nudge it like that. That's it. And you would come back and you'd wait.
Woo!
You'd see what it's doing. Now the next thing is you got to pay attention to what's behind you. How close is that truck? Are we staying the same amount?
They're catching up.
Kind of, sort of. So
Should we
probably
speed it
need
up
to
a
go
little?
just a little bit.
All right, let me do it.
That might be a little too much. It's pretty temperamental.
It is.
Let's back it back down
Okay.
just a little. Now, look up ahead of you. See how that line is crooked?
Yeah.
The idea behind that would be that you want to straighten that line out.
Oh, really?
Like
Okay.
you would draw a string through there. That's how you would want to run it. So maybe there's 4 or 5 inches that you'd want to run off when you get up there to that point.
I think I have this one mastered.
You got it?
Let's move along.
Okay.
Okay.
Stop it.
Does not smell good.
It helps when you have to grab a hold of that shovel too.
Oh, man.
She looked like she's actually working out okay? I mean, what'd you think?
Yeah, she's doing a pretty good job.
All right,
She's all right.
she's got a good guy with her, Billy?
Yeah, Bill Leslie's our superintendent. He's been around about 25 years. He'll take care of her okay.
Yeah, he's got his hands full. Good luck,
Yeah.
Billy. All right, another question. In terms of the heat, how hot do they have to get this stuff? I mean, it seems like it'd be terrible out in the summer doing this, for example.
Yeah, we don't come down to Arizona usually in the summer to do this kind of work. We stay up in the northern climates in the summer and try to come down to Arizona and Florida in the winter when the temperatures are better. It's pretty hot around that machine. We heat the existing asphalt up to about 380 degrees. That's how you make asphalt, so that's how you probably recycle it too. As far as if you get it any hotter than that, you'll char it. It'll look like charred briquettes if you get it much above 400. So we try to heat it up to about 380 degrees.
Can any street or road be recycled?
Any asphalt road can be recycled, but there's different types of recycling. There's heated in-place recycling. There's 3 types of that. And then there's also cold recycling and full-depth reclamation. And most streets could fall into it. It's just a matter of figuring out costs, what's cheaper to do one of those processes, or if you have to rip it all out because there isn't any life in the asphalt and come back and do a complete inlay, overlay, or reconstruct.
I see. Let's see what Jane's up to now.
Okay? You can see there's a lot more control.
Way too
involved
many
in it.
buttons.
Way too many. So I'm basically going to get this thing rolling for you.
All right.
And I'll let you steer. Now, this is
Okay.
a lot more critical than the other machine is.
Okay.
If it goes, you want to turn it back on just a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, this machine will lead you a little bit because it's pushing a truck. It's trying to cut material out. It's heat.
Man.
Step back. Your position should be right up against the handrail where you can look and be comfortable.
I don't feel like I'm way off over there.
That's all right. You think you got enough though?
I think we got it up. Should we move on?
Well, this
Next
is
part?
screed operation.
Got it started.
This is your position all day. Your whole idea is to keep that within 1/4 of an inch above that side, and you have a depth probe that you want to do something like this once in a while to make sure that it's real close to that.
Can I do that?
You can. You have a lot of control from right here. You control what these guys are doing back here. You control what the operator's doing ahead. You can see everything that's going on. This is usually your lead man's position.
Yeah. Alright. We ready to move on to the next guy? And we can just grab
That'd
this
be
little
his.
thing right here?
That'll be his, unless you want to rake first.
Sure. Let's give that a shot.
Okay? Come on. Let's give you raking 101.
What?
We're going to give you raking 101. Let me see your rake here, Bubba. This is an asphalt rake.
Okay.
The trick is to make that seam invisible. As you can see the way that roller's blended,
Yeah.
looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
The idea is to knock that edge off. And this is a lot harder than it looks.
Is this how you started into this job? You've been doing it 20 some odd years?
I started shoveling at $5 an hour 23 years ago.
How about you?
And it was 104 degrees with about that much humidity in Oklahoma at the time. I was really
That was some
tired.
real work.
I was really tired.
And then now you were saying earlier you guys come for about what? You're going to be on this job for 3 weeks?
About that.
And then move on to another state or another city?
The story I'm getting right now.
You're right, she is doing actually
Yeah,
pretty
she's
good.
doing. We might have to cut her a check today.
And do we have to cut you one too?
No, I'm
Okay,
on
okay.
salary. She's hourly.
All right. Hey, tell us about your crews now.
All right.
They travel with this equipment as it goes around the country, and you even have some like husband-wife members of your crew. How does that all work out?
We have 10 crews, and they travel probably 7 or 8 different states throughout the United States, from Florida all the way out here to Arizona. A lot of the superintendents have their wives travel with them, and they travel in travel trailers or stay in hotels, the crews do. And a lot of them have their wives working on rollers. Some of them work as traffic control superintendents, some of them are laborers. But for the most part, I'd say out of the 10 crews, there's probably 6 or 8 husband and wife combinations, and they work out in the field together themselves.
Lyle, you said there's a number of states that you guys work in, right?
We work in Florida, Kansas, Texas, New Mexico, Missouri, Colorado, Arizona.
Wow.
Did I say Texas?
Yeah.
And we have worked, out of the 50 states, we have worked in 40 of those states.
That's
But we're mainly staying in the last probably 6, 7 years in 7 or 8 states.
Okay, it's time to check in again with Jane. Did I see her walking that way with a bag of marshmallows?
Well, we've been telling her that you can heat some food on the streets.
Oh no, you shouldn't have told Jane that.
And I think she's got her campfire girls
Oh,
thinking about
let's
her.
see what kind of trouble Jane is causing.
For you, Jim.
Lyle, I think it's fair to say you've never seen that happen before, right?
Well, to have one person
Marshmallows?
marshmallow roasting, yeah, you see the crews didn't want any of it.
No,
But
no, I don't blame
to
them.
have Jane come out here and run 3 pieces of equipment and do a laborer's job with the rake and everything, it's been quite amazing to watch this process with Jane.
Yeah, I guess
Yes.
amazing is a word for it. All right, well, thank you so much, Lyle,
You bet,
for
Jim.
coming out and
Thank you.
teaching us a little bit about hot in place repaving.